When you watch a professional game and then you watch an amateur game, one question always seems to pop into my mind, and that is, why does an amateur game always seem more high intense, more chaotic? It feels like the players themselves don't have time on the ball. But then you go watch a professional game and it seems more pulled back. It's just the polar opposite. The players seem more calm. It seems more slow. It seems slow paced. And I'd expect the opposite, to be honest. Now, this comes down to several factors, of course. And let's discuss the elephant in the room here. They are professionals. I want to discuss the specifics that really affect this part of the game. Many factors that really affect this part of the game is player skill. You've got your mental skill and you've got your physical skill. Now, when we look at skills mentally, when we look at the professional players that have, of course, mastered their mental skills, we look at the player themselves and their body language always seems to be calm. The players themselves are calm. And this calmness comes from a couple of things. It's what the players do off the ball that lets them be calm on the ball, right? Many of these professional players, like Sergio Busquets, are very calm. And that is because they already think 2 steps ahead. Before they receive a pass, they have already thought of who they're going to pass to, where they're going to run to, how they're going to run there, which pockets of space they can occupy. And these are things that allows a player to make good decisions under pressure. When we look at amateur players, they don't make decisions as soon as the ball is passed to them. Now, of course, this whole video is a generalization, right? Meaning not everything is by law. Not everything said here is 100%, but in general, these are the factors that affect this. Now, when we look at these amateur players, when they receive the ball, they don't tend to decide who they're going to pass to, where they're going to run before they got the ball. So when the ball is on their foot, then they're making decisions. And when you make decisions under pressure, you make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, you are forced to then run after your ball, run after your mistakes, fix your mistakes. And if you're constantly fixing mistakes, on average, the whole game will become more intense. For the professional players, like Sergio Busquets, for example, he's always had the ability to constantly push past the press, right? Whenever pressure came upon him, he always worked his way out of it. And because he made decisions before the ball came to him. The next reason why players seem calm is they are constantly scanning the surroundings. They are constantly taking a look at the area, at the opposition, constantly reading the game, understanding the patterns, the tactics, understanding the pattern of game. And that allows them to really operate through pressure. Alright, take Lionel Messi, who's notorious for scanning. This scanning allows Messi to understand the opposition around. So then when the pressure comes to him, he knows where to run and where to occupy and where to dribble and where to pass. He understands that I'm going to be rushed by 3 players from behind, for example. Okay? And this scanning allows Messi to operate through that pressure, which then allows him to be more calm. So we can see how calmness is then linked like a web between all of these other mental factors. You can't have one without the other. Okay. The next factor is our physical skills. A lot of the times, amateur players tend to make more mistakes. They tend to have to fix their mistakes. They tend to have to run and fix the mistakes, which increases the intensity of the game. Alright, but now we have to understand one thing. When a professional player, for example, receives a ball, okay, from a cross, he takes a touch. 9 out of 10 times, that touch will be taken perfectly. When a amateur player receives a touch, there's a high chance they make a mistake. And that's why the professional game seems seamless, it seems smooth, is because everything the professionals execute is always executed perfectly. And that perfection is what allows the game to seem seamless and smooth, which then makes the game seem more less intense, which makes the game seem slow paced, is because these professional players aren't constantly trying to fix mistakes. They aren't constantly running after their touch. They aren't constantly trying to regain control. When they get the ball is executed off their foot perfectly. They make a pass, execute that perfectly, and that is what makes the game seem more slow paced, because they're not constantly trying to fix mistakes compared to an amateur game, right? And that is why the professional game seems very slow paced, because they are constantly executing everything they do in the game perfectly, which leads the ball to ping pong around smoothly. And that is why the professional game seems very slow, seems very less intense. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a sub down in the bottom, and yeah, we'll hopefully post more content like this. If you guys enjoy my new form of content, drop a sub. Thank you so much for watching.